This episode is sponsored by eToys World. Go to etoysworld.co.uk/discount/PHC10 for a 10% discount off your first order.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Ramshackle from Polyhedron Collider. I'm Andy.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Rory. Do you really pronounce it polyhedron as opposed to Polyhedron Collider?
I do, yes.
Oh, I never noticed you pronounced the name of our podcast wrong.
You mean correct.
Hey, I've got the clicker sunshine.
It's pronounced dodecahedron, so why is it not polyhedron? It is hedron, not hedron.
Somebody said this to me not long after we started. It might have even been before we started the podcast. And I said, we're Polyhedron Collider, because it's a play on words of the Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me, sure, it's Hadron Collider. And I went, it might be. I don't know.
Is.
So
it
I looked up. No.
Is it not?
It is not. You are both correct.
Oh, no tick, Rory. Unclick that.
I get a click for being right. I always get a click for being right.
At least my copy of the Oxford English Dictionary says that both pronunciations are acceptable in UK English.
Okay.
So for the joke, it's Hadron Collider. But yes, Andy, the more mathematical of you will say Hedron Collider.
Yes, we will, because we are consistent.
Yes.
Anyway, that all aside.
Yeah. What are we doing here, Andy? Why are we recording again?
This piffle, yes, we'll move this piffle aside. We've decided basically that the three of us were talking the other night that, do you know what, we haven't actually done some questions for quite some time because as a board gaming podcast, we've been focusing on board games, heaven forbid. So, this particular episode, we are having a damn good rummage in the old questions bag. And we are just going to answer a load of user and listener questions. User questions?
Listener questions.
Abusers, not users, abusers.
Right.
So, the first question that we have to ask ourselves is which one's going first?
Let's just do them in order. Let's just do them in order.
Let's do it. Well, in order,
All
this
right.
should be in order of age. So it should be the oldest question to be first on the list.
All right. Top of the shop. Tiago asks, quite a hefty one, actually. This is going to take some time. Do you think the hobby is stale from an innovation and originality point of view? Do you think the new games are just a constant reinvention of the wheel? Yes.
Is that it?
That's
Move
it.
on.
Next. Yes. I can see his point. I was saying this the other night, and I've been thinking about it myself, slightly more broadly, though. And talking to myself whilst I do it, I'm quite mad. That I think it's probably a bit of becoming older and more curmudgeonly. I will freely admit that. And I do admit I'm also quite hard to please. But I think there's a more generic feel to a lot of games these days. And I think that's probably as a result that the hobby has expanded, to its credit, really quite broadly. So, a lot of people have become more interested in the hobby. I mean, the size of the conventions we go to is kind of testament to that. Expo has pretty much tripled in size in the last 10 years, maybe more, because we're getting, 40,000 or so in the last year, was it? Something like that for people. Yeah, which is a lot of people. And I think you can see it with computer games, you've seen it with films, that the more broader the appeal, the more homogenous they must become. And therefore we suffer the kind of, you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody kind of dichotomy. And I think we're sort of suffering a little of that. At least that's probably what Tiago's driving at. And I can kind of see where he's coming from in a way. The good side is, though, that it means that the dross, the sort of the lower end of the scale, is kind of brought up because standards are being have got to be higher to make sure that you always have a hit on your hands, or at least something that's going to sell. I think the downside is, though, we're seeing fewer and fewer kind of diamonds in the rough, as it were. 10 years ago it was banger after banger after banger, whereas I think these days, for me, whilst there's nothing truly dreadful out there, there's comparatively fewer games that really stand out as properly good.
Would it surprise you if I disagree completely and wholeheartedly with that?
It doesn't surprise me. I don't think it surprises any of our listeners.
You can be wrong. It's fine.
My view of this is, I've just tried to add it up on Board Game Geek, and you can't, unfortunately. But I think 5,000 board games were released last year. That's 5,000 board games and expansions were released. Now, I mean, you can ignore like the last 4,500 probably. I mean, and we're looking at probably like, I don't know, we played 50 of them last year. It's the same with most things. I mean, but what happens is when you see an innovation, you go, "That's an innovation." And I got to contest what you said there a little bit, Andy, when you said, "Oh, you thought there was like hit after hit." I think that's just like survival bias. Because
Possibly.
you remember the good games and you don't remember the dross you played. Because
I
we
remember
played
some dross as well, believe me.
Well, yeah. Because we didn't half play some dross. I know what Tiago means, though. I think the problem is you don't know the innovation until you've seen the innovation, and sometimes the innovation might pass us by or it doesn't catch on. I think sometimes like some games try something and it works, and some games try something and it doesn't. I mean, we've just in the previous episode talked about a couple of Euro games, some of these heavy Euro games. I mean, recent episode we talked about Speakeasy. There's nothing innovative about Speakeasy, really.
No, not at all. No.
It's remixing the similar kind of things that we see in other games. It's a worker placement which interacts with this. You collect these resources to do that. Is it innovative? No. Was it good? Hell yeah, it was really freaking good. I mean, even like Galactic Cruise, which we said was our favourite game of last year.
Brilliant game. I played that at the weekend. Again, there's nothing innovative in that game.
Yeah.
It's just a damn good game. We talk about innovation. Recent episode, we talked about Apex Legends, and that had what we thought was a really interesting and innovative shooting mechanism. Not so long ago, we talked about Ice and Idols, which is a lighter game, but that had a really innovative circular rotating board. Casting my back a little bit further, Cut and Horror. I saw that on the table at a games club the other night. Do you remember those sliding dials for managing the economy? And that was really cool, really different. I don't have to spend very long to try and think of innovative games that I've played in the last year or know of in the last year. To Tiago's point and to your point, Andy, I think this homogenous gaming has always existed. I think games have always been quite similar to other games. There's only a few that ever kind of really kind of break out every year. I just think maybe now as the market is getting bigger, we're just seeing more homogenous games, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily
find
more of them than there ever was. It's just the scale is bigger.
Yeah, so our scope is exactly the same. It's just we've got to, there's more to shoot at, as it were. So you're naturally going to miss. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also think as we've been in the hobby for so long now, I think our tastes are becoming more and more refined. We know we talk about the dross. I know there's certain types of games I don't want to play, so I don't go near them with a barge pole. I also know there's certain publishers and there's certain designers and there's certain kind of, I say authorities, other people in the industry, in the hobby, that I will listen to and I value their opinion and I will go to that. I didn't have that when I started, 10 years ago, but I still think it was all still there.
I don't think it, I mean, I think I largely... yes, I kind of agree with most of what you said. I don't think actually the experience was probably there 10 years ago. Certainly the amount of media in board gaming wasn't there 10 years ago. I think the amount of coverage and the number of reviewers and media personalities, shall we say, has definitely exploded in the last few years. Certainly on YouTube, anyway. There's always watch it played, all the learning videos for good or for bad, people reviewing things, etc., etc. I mean, they're all over the place now, so it's incredibly easy to find an opinion on a board game. Although this is obviously the only one you should be listening to, us three right here. But yeah, no, that's probably fair. I as I say, I freely hold my hand up that I have become more curmudgeonly, and obviously you're right. I mean, we all know what we like, so we all try to we aim for what we know we like, for we fear change.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the interesting things I think lately is there's a lot of remakes, a lot of like games being remade. And Puerto Rico Special Edition came out. Concordia Special Edition has just been announced. And then there is
Burgundy.
there's a level of blingification with these where you've obviously gone from what was a very simple cardboard box into something with miniatures and things like that, which obviously people want. I mean, there's lots of people who complain and say they don't want it, but money shows that people want this. I think what you have to remember is this explosion, as I said, in the industry. You know, when Castles of Burgundy came out, it was going to be lucky to do 6,000 copies. You know, when I started this hobby, I remember the Dice Tower saying 1,000 is a large print run, 10,000 is, you know,
was unheard
mega
of, I
print
suppose,
run.
wasn't it?
Was more or less unheard of for things outside of Ticket to Ride and Pandemic. Yet we can now see the numbers with Kickstarter and GameFound, because you know how many backers there are. You can see how many they're going to have to print. And, you know, it's not unusual to see 5,000 on that kind of figure, and you know they're going to print more than that to sell into retail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Tapestry's a good example, not of a game because it's terrible, but of a print run. That I think Jamie printed, I think it's 40,000, and that wasn't enough. Because he freely admitted it wasn't enough. He got the numbers wrong. It was, if you remember that a few years ago.
Oh God! Yeah, well, Wingspan had like several emergency prints because it just sold out so bloody quick.
Flew off the shelves.
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to come out with an idea that's out of the box. I mean, I'd argue that. Oh God, is it Sankori? What's the third one? Is it Aya? Which is the third one in that Ayara? I found that quite innovative because the way you were moving pieces across a common board, and that was affecting the actions and the scoring. I found that worked differently to, say, Galactic Cruise, which was just a worker placement. You know, do the thing to do the thing. That was very much a case of balancing things. I found that innovative. I think there are out there. I just think that, as you said, because we're buying these games like Galactic Cruise and SETI and things like that, well, you know, I don't know where there is to innovate either.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
Do we really want innovation? Do I really want a game that really pushes the boundaries, or do I just want that good, solid experience? Do I want? I think an obvious. Well, I say an obvious. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about that music is very homogenous now. That a song or an artist can sound a lot like another artist. And I heard an example of Ed Sheeran's latest album sounds a lot like every other Ed Sheeran album ever. But on my drive to Steve's the other night, I had an Offspring song come on, and I was like, it could have been off any of their albums because it just sounds like the Offspring. That's it. You know, a Fabio Lopiano game feels like a Fabio Lopiano game. A David Turtzi game feels like a David Turtzi game. It doesn't have to be innovative to be new and exciting. I like that experience, and I like that familiarity. It doesn't have to be new and crazy.
So what we're basically saying is we like what we know, we stick to what we know, and then complain that we haven't broadened our horizons and don't discover any new stuff. So we're a victim of our own problems.
I like being surprised by innovation, but I don't go searching for the innovation.
Yeah, I think that's
a good. Wow, we've come to an agreement in the conclusion. Mark this down in your calendar, folks. Derek asks, do you prefer / find yourself drawn more towards games with a fantasy theme, a sci-fi theme, or a historical theme?
See, my initial reaction to this question was like, yeah, I like fantasy games more. But the more I think about it, I found myself drifting more to historical games. Like,
you're on the verge of an 18XX here.
No, I don't mean like that. But I remember, like, as we've just talked about AR, and we talked about, you know, a Merv and those games. I quite liked reading about it. And Galileo Galilei that we reviewed earlier this year. I quite enjoyed the rule book had all these facts and interesting information about that time period. Molly's House did the same thing as well. I felt a little bit better. Stupid Monday was another good one. That's a historical game that I was just like, I feel more enriched for knowing that King Frederick II was known as Stupid Monday, and that means wonder of the world. I don't get that when I play Galactic Cruise.
I will say for board games, I don't care. I want an interesting game because I just do. The mechanics of the game, theme draw you in, can help you. But at the end of the game, end of the day, I want an interesting game. I mean, a really good example of that is PAX. I can't remember the rest of the names because there's several PAX games, but the Cal World one where you're in Afghanistan.
Oh, PAX Pamir.
Pax Premier. As far as I'm concerned, theme-wise, that's drier than desiccated toast. But that game is so good.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, there's a lot of information about that game, and everything's based on real people and real factions. I mean, you could retheme that game in a fantasy theme or a sci-fi theme, and it would still be an amazing game.
Yeah.
And it's not the theme which appeals to you. However, when it comes to miniatures games and RPGs, I want sci-fi, I want monsters, I want swords, I want magic, I want spaceships, I just want something otherworldly. I'm not interested in playing World War II miniatures games, for instance. Bolt Action and the other ones, they just don't appeal to me at all. Stick Cthulhu versus, some World War II troops, Acton Cthulhu. I'm in. I'm interested.
But you're not interested in real world for your miniatures?
Yeah.
No, I can agree with that, actually, Steve.
And RPGs as well. I mean, I'm not interested in playing a historical real-world RPG of some description, which exists, but, I mean, most RPGs have got something fantastical.
Yep, you want a big, burly bloke with a weapon the size of a tractor. That's what you want.
Yes, exactly.
If you could only keep games of a specific theme, castles, dinosaurs, pirates, etc., cowboys, which theme would you keep? I think to keep the most amount of games on my shelf, I might pick something like farming or...
I think on that note, it'd have to be Cthulhu for me, and probably the same for Steve, actually, because we have quite a few Arkham games between the two of us, don't we?
I quite like pirate-themed games, but I don't have any on my shelf.
See, I was thinking my first thought was sci-fi, because then I could keep Twilight Imperium and Star Wars Rebellion and Horus Heresy and things like that. But you're right, Cthulhu does nudge in there.
It does, doesn't it? But is that a theme or a setting? Or are they the same thing?
That's a theme. I'd call it a theme. No. I do have a penchant for pirate games. Pirate games always draw me in. I'll always take an extra look at a pirate game if I see one. I don't know why.
I know what you mean. They're kind of fun. It's it's buckling or swash, isn't it? It's always entertaining.
I do like buckling my swash.
Do you swash your buckle or buckle your swash? I don't know.
Well, the buckler is the shield. The buckler is a tiny shield, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a fencing shield. So you must swash your buckler, surely, because the buckler is one...
But it's a swashbuckling adventure. So...
Oh, God, this is too deep a philosophical adventure.
Moving on. we are not sufficiently qualified to discuss that.
It hasn't stopped us about anything else.
That's fair, actually, yes.
I walked past a charity shop the other day, and the window there was for £10. It was like a dictionary of common phrases and unusual words that I actually stopped, went in and had a look at, because what's the definite? Where's the the etymology of under your hat or way down and stuff like that. So I had to flick through, and I was so tempted to buy it, but it was this huge book. If I had it here now, I could look at what swashbuckling was, and I'm annoyed that I haven't got it.
Yeah, that's because you've hit a certain age now. Things like that are interesting to you.
I'm interested in unusual dictionaries.
Yes. Next is Adalinda asking, can you guys recommend one game that you enjoy playing and think is ideally suited for BGA? Well, I can't because I barely touched the bloody thing, so I'm going to have to leave that to you two.
I'm of the view that any game which you have a more or less self-contained turn and doesn't fire off actions for other players works well.
Yeah.
I don't own BJ a subscription. Rory does, and our friend Adam does. So Adam invites me to loads of games, and we play an awful lot of Feast for Odin, which works really well because it sorts out the rules of being able to put things into your hoard, so you can't make a mistake by accident. And it's one of those games you do an action. It's all, what your action it does affect what other people do because it blocks off worker placement spells, but it's not like it fires off a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that works really well.
I think one of my favourite BGA games and favourite games of all time is Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy works fantastically well on BGA. Again, it's self-contained. You take your turn. And it's really, if you ever get confused about what the different yellow buildings do or the beige buildings, just by hovering over it, it'll remind you really quickly. So there's no rule referencing as well. It's really good.
I have played Solken on BGA, and that works quite well as well. Again, it's
Yes.
self-contained.
Yeah,
you
again,
just do your
self-contained
action.
turns.
Yeah.
They're the key. It also depends on the implementation. Like currently, Steve and I are playing a game of Concordia, and I'm finding the interface on that really awkward. Playing it on my phone, I find
The text on the cards is too
text on
small.
the cards. They've just scanned it all. It's almost like they've just scanned it all in and just launched that as like JPEGs on the screen. It's not as interactive as some of the more recent editions. We just finished the game of Lost Ruins of Arnak, and I can scroll around and I can really easily see everything on my phone. And that's quite a big board, Lost Ruins of Arnak, and all the cards. But Concordia, so it really does depend on how long the game's been on there for. I think a lot of the newer games on BGA, you won't have that problem. Some of the old ones, you will struggle.
Relatively new game which just came on there recently, Scara Bray. That works really well on there because I don't know what kind of level of game you're into. I mean, we've mainly talked about quite heavy Euros, but Scara Bray's kind of medium weight, and that's really good on there as well. I mean, we tend to play proper asynchronous, so we'll take a turn, come back to it in 2 or 3 hours to see if someone else is taking a turn. We're not playing it simultaneously, so we don't need to worry about that. Me and Adam did try Mythic Battles the other day, and that did not work. Oh my god, no, it wasn't Mythic Battles. Sorry. It was Mythic Fantasy, Super Fantasy Brawl.
Oh.
And because you had so many reactions you could make, it means you'd come in and log in and say, do you want to take a reaction to this? And you'd go, no. And that would be it. You'd log in just to click no.
Oh.
It's even more frustrating when it goes, do you want to take a reaction to this? And you click on yes, and you have 0 options. Because you haven't got any cards or you haven't got any abilities to do a reaction, but something has triggered that you can react. I'd recommend Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy.
It's the old style Castles of Burgundy, so it looks grey and brown, but it plays really well. US Dave UK asks, is there one game that you consider yourself a master at? The sort where you know it so well that in the style of a chess grandmaster you could play a room of novices simultaneously, just working your way around the room one at a time?
No. I thought I was quite good at Teotihuacan, but then I played Flav at the Telford Aircon, and he absolutely rinsed everyone. Like by about a factor of 50 points. It wasn't even close. It was incredible how well he played that. So, no, I don't really think... I usually do okay at brass, but I wouldn't consider myself a master.
Well, Dave, I used to think I was good at Age of Innovation / Terra Mystica. But you proved me wrong, didn't you, Dave?
Yeah, he did. He did prove you wrong there. Yeah. I think I'm pretty good at Arc Nova.
You are very good at Arc Nova, actually. I get so pissed off playing you at Arc Nova because I can't work out how you've scored so many points.
Yeah, I do quite, but then I get really annoyed when someone beats me at Arc Nova as well. I'm really annoyed. I'm also pretty damn good at Castles of Burgundy. I've got some very good scores on Castles of Burgundy. So,
but I'm definitely not a master at one. I think what part of the issue we have is doing the podcast is because the podcast keeps feeding new games. None of us play like one game an awful lot, so I don't think that we've got that far in any of them.
No,
it's probably true. Yeah.
Dave's got a couple of extra games. What is the most satisfaction you've had from a win? What is the most crushing defeat you've ever had? And what's the widest range of scores you've ever had in a single game against the podcast hosts?
Right, I can answer the last two with one answer. Right, the most crushing defeat I've ever had was Terracotta Army.
Ooh.
Right, and it was the widest range of scores. I think my score, I didn't make it around the first corner of the board. And I think I think it might have been you, Steve. You actually lapped me. I don't know what the numbers were. I got to the point where I was just counting the amount of corners you went round the board more than me. That was horrendous.
You did not get that game.
No, I didn't get that game.
I was thinking about that the other day. I wanted to play that again. It's a long time since I've played that. Oh, there was a game we played recently where we all lapped someone, and I can't remember which game it was. Oh, we played SETI. To be fair, Adam was involved, and me and Rory both lapped Adam on SETI, which is an achievement in SETI because it's, that's a lot of points.
Again, that game just did not click with him, did it? So I mean,
nah.
So I've had some big wins on, like when we played Sand, if you get Bakashma.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that game just really clicked with me and no one else. It feels like it's such a hollow victory when your opponents just don't get it.
Yeah, that was a really bad defeat. I think my best victory that I can remember is beating Andy at Star Wars Rebellion.
Twice.
Because both games were quite tight. Both
They
of
were
them were like
literally like one planet in it, yeah.
Yeah. So they went like a crushing defeat, but it was definitely a satisfying win because we felt like you're on edge.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's those really close games that really feel so satisfactory, don't they? Where you've really eked out those 1 or 2 points that get the win.
Yeah, I think on that note, actually, I beat Steve by a single point at barrage at one of the. I think it was one of the air cons many, many years ago. That was the first time we'd played it, to be fair, Steve. But yeah, it was a single point. And it might even have been a beating you on a tiebreaker. I forget which. It was incredibly amusing. I think the most crushing defeat I ever had was probably at Solken, actually. I played just an awful game, and brand new player, never played it before, got like 70-odd points, and I got less than 20. It was just it was so depressing. I think I'm getting worse at Solken, not better.
So not a question as such, but Miss Elby has pointed out that they've heard of something called a simul, short for simultaneous exhibition.
Oh, this is the playing multiple games at the same time against lots of people.
Which is exactly what Dave asked a question about.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
I've never heard this term before. So basically, it's the same. Apparently, they're holding simuls for Azul and Carcassonne at UK Games Expo this year.
One person versus novices.
Many, yeah.
If they were more interesting games, I might be tempted to go watch that.
You can't do a complicated game, though. You couldn't do that.
No.
People do it with chess.
Yeah, but chess is like move one chess piece. It's not like, I use this chess piece and get 2 gold pieces, which I then spend to upgrade my rook to a knight, is it?
That's fair.
Should be. That'd be so much better. Actually, that's a really good idea for chess.
Yeah, if you beat a bishop with a pawn, you get like an extra move or something because it's a more powerful piece. I don't know. That could get very complicated very quickly.
Oh, this is a complete tangent, right? But one of the things we as Polyhedron Collider, ever since the blog started, is we don't get as much. Well, we don't get anywhere near as much as we used to. We used to get sent loads of Kickstarter prototypes to review for Kickstarter games, and they were all at the small publishers. I got sick and tired of chess variations.
Really?
Every 3 months, it was, we've invented a new game. It upgrades chess. Oh, great. Thanks.
Wonderful.
And then we need to have a tally. We'll do this at Expo. How many upgraded versions of chess you see at UK Games Expo 2026? Because there'll be at least one.
Right.
Okay.
All listeners, put it in your Discord as well. We'll have a site-wide competition.
Should we do a UK Games Expo bingo card? You've got to spot these things around the expo.
That's a great idea.
Right, I'm actually going to make a note of that.
Right, Dark Renown has asked a few questions. We'll do them one at a time. Which Arkham investigator do you identify with the most, and why is Rory always Daisy Walker?
I don't get the joke. I don't know Arkham Horror. So can someone explain it to me?
Is Daisy Walker is she the ex-cultist?
No, she's the library SWAT. She's basically Hermione Granger of the Arkham Horror
world. It must
world.
be something like that, yeah.
The artwork is she's clutching a book.
Okay.
Yes.
Just replace the book with a clipboard and you'll be fine. That's who Daisy Walker is. I don't really identify him with him, but I always want to play Trash Can Pete.
Trash Can Pete, yes.
He's my favourite character.
I always seem to play Jenny Barnes. Just because she basically boots the door in, points 2 guns at people, and if there's a problem, she just throws money at it. Problem solved.
What was my other favourite one? The Indiana Jones knockoff from the first Arkham Horror?
I know who you mean, yeah.
Monterey Jack or something
Monterey
like that,
Jack, yes, the cheese. Yeah, that's him. Thing is, though, there's loads of them now in the Arkham universe, because they've got a load of the originals in Arkham 3rd edition, but if you go to Unfathomable, they've come up with a load new ones. So I don't know if that counts, because they're all in Arkham.
We can answer this for Sid, can't we?
Oh, yeah.
There is actually a Seek in there in his turbo, which Sid insists on playing every single Cthulhu game. Right, we're going in.
That's him, yeah. So Sid has definitely one. I do quite like Tommy Muldoon as well. He's the rookie cop. And there's another one. I was playing Arkham a few weeks ago with Laura, and there's a couple of characters I quite like. But yeah, there's far too many of them. There's about 30 or 35 to choose from if you fully upgraded 3rd edition. There's way too many.
Okay, Dark Renan's got a few more questions. Are there any games that you would never go back to, even if they blinged it out and revamped it?
How long have we got?
So you know when we tend to talk about all those Kickstarter games we reviewed?
Yeah,
all
of them.
Yeah.
Are there any like popular games that you would never go back to?
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah, Betrayal at House on the Hill. Yep. It's not, as I said last time, it's not a game, it's an experience, and it's not a fun experience.
No.
See, for me, it's Wingspan. There are games that I hate more than Wingspan, but I find Wingspan to be very dull. And I think even if it got blinged out into, I don't know, fish or dragons, I still wouldn't go back to it.
In a rare
Get him a clicker.
you're not getting a clicker for this, no, because I could have said it and you'd agree with me. So it's just whoever gets there first. So you're not having that. But no, how did you describe Wingspan? It's like staring at traffic lights.
It's like waiting at traffic lights. That's how I described it.
It is crap.
I'm just trying to think of a popular game that I'd never go back to, apart from Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Uno.
Rummy Cub.
I see there's quite a few, even like Great Western Trail. I don't like Great Western Trail.
You're wrong.
But I do like this one. No, absolutely. Click, click, click.
I really like the New Zealand Great Western Trail. I like El Paso. I just don't like the original Great Western Trail.
Still wrong.
I'm having strong feelings towards Lost Ruins of Arnak as well, if I'm honest, Steve.
I have to admit, I don't see why people love Arnak so much. I don't hate it. I think it's fine, but that's all it is. I don't really see why people go berserk for it. I don't think it was that exciting.
I'm just trying to think of the big popular Sagrada Azul. When we played those for the board game 100, those are popular games that I don't like, and I've played once and will never go back to. Weirdly,
here's one, and Andy's not going to like this. Everdell. It did nothing for me.
I can see why. I will admit, I've got the full collector's box, which Laura keeps complaining that it's too big and you can't take it anywhere, and she's not wrong. About 3 of the 4 expansions are kind of shit. Pearlbrook's useless. Belfair, I think, is kind of crap as well. I think the only one actually adds any very, very interesting stuff is the one where you go through the mountains and it adds some weather. That one's all right, and it adds a bit more complexity to it. But I can see your point, Steve. And this is blinged out, so...
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think as a tableau builder, it's reasonably interesting once you played it a few times. But I can see your point.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me at all. I was thinking maybe missing something, but no, didn't get me. Finally, Dark Renown's asked, recommend me a game. The limitations are 2-player, best. No space, no tactical movements, so no skirmishing, no Egypt references.
Curiously specific.
And no conflict.
Well, she get molested by a sphinx or something.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember the old... I know it's not PC to like this anymore, but the old Little Britain sketch when he goes into the shop and asks for a pirate game for ages 2 to 5.
Right. No, I don't remember this sketch.
Don't remember Little Britain. One guy goes in, he's asked for a very specific game, and then the guy keeps bringing games out which meet his requirement, and he's like, no. And that's it. He just says no.
Oh.
He has to go find another game. It's quite funny, especially for a board game, because it's very specific descriptions of games. 2-player, not much space, no tactical movement, definitely no Egypt references, and no conflict.
So, Kemet's out then.
2-player.
Probably, you're going to say War of the Ring, aren't you, Steve? Sky Team
no.
is a good one. Yeah.
I was just thinking the name, Sky Team.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sky
Doesn't
Team.
take much space. It's not conflict because it's a cooperative game. Just don't fly to Cairo Airport. You'll be fine.
Yeah. It is an absolute brilliant 2-player game. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It ticks all those boxes.
It's true. It does.
Andrew Dobbs asks, who is your personal designer company where anything they produce is a must buy?
I don't think I need to answer this one.
Well, he actually answers these. In the next sentence he says, I presume Andy is Lacerda and Rory is Fabio Lapiano.
Presume is a little light. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So apart
In
from
other
those
news,
obvious
the Pope is
decisions,
Catholic and bears defecate in the forest.
so is there anyone else apart from those?
I think Martin Wallace would probably get a look, probably from both of us, actually.
Yeah, Martin Wallace.
It is where your two Venn diagrams cross,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is.
Yeah, Martin Wallace. I'd definitely. Here's another one. Llama Dice. Anything by Llama Dice, I'd definitely look at.
I think I'd have to say Daniel Taschini as well for me, although his recent one was a bit shit. But what was that? That one with that horrible artwork.
Oh,
Transgalactica. Yeah. It used to be, actually. I really liked Final Frontier games till they went bankrupt last year, thanks to Simon not paying the bills, allegedly, which is a shame because I was always interested in their stuff because they were kind of medium-heavy Euros, generally speaking. They always throw out some pretty good stuff, but sadly that is no longer the case.
I mean, I used to have a previous one, Fantasy Flight Games.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've looked at when we did our 10-year episode, and I actually worked out a top 10. I think 8 of the top 10 are Fantasy Flight Games.
I went through my collection before Aircon, just to sell some stuff, and a number of Fantasy Flight Games I've got on my shelf is really quite frightening. It's about, I genuinely think it's probably about 80 or 90% of their actual collection I've got, and I think you've got as well.
There was a point, I remember, when they used to get the catalogue in there. Every year they used to give the game catalogue inside the box. I remember sitting around a table, it might have been just me and you, and the only thing we hadn't had was like one collectible card game between the two of us.
Yeah.
We owned the rest of the entire catalogue.
Yeah.
But no one's taken their place, I don't think, for me. Designers, Gap Hill Games.
Yeah.
Slash Shem Phillips. To be fair, as we record this, there's another pair of historical games
Notice
on
that.
Kickstarter.
They look interesting. They looked like a bit of a bargain, actually. Was it €90 for 2 games or something? Something like that. It looks really, really quite good value.
I do think that Gap Hill Games / Shem Phillips at the moment is almost a complete must-buy for me. I like everything they do.
The Compass Point games, I'm in now. So when the East ones come out, I'll be on them. Which I think is next year. If I remember rightly, 2027, I think, is his plan for his next Compass Point for the East ones. It might be this year, but...
I mean, I will always play any David Turtsey game as well.
Yeah.
Although I don't necessarily buy them. Although I feel as if I've missed out on the last one he did, which was for Board and Dice Thebes.
Oh, Thebes, yes.
Yeah.
Thebes, yes, that one.
That one I've missed out on, and I keep meaning to maybe get that one.
I know what you mean. I'm curious about that as well.
A couple of companies that I'm starting to pay a lot more attention to are Studio H and Sorry We Are French. So they're bought to the UK from Hachette. I've got Cyclades up on my shelf here, Studio H. I picked up Bella Vista at Aircon. I've played that for Studio H. Andy, you got Leaders from Studio H last year.
Yes. Yeah, that's
really good. Sorry We Are French.
Twist on chess, but yeah.
Shackleton. Did Shackleton base? So they are really interesting. So I pay attention to what Studio H and Sorry We Are French from Hachette are doing specifically.
Yeah. I might be wrong, but there's also Canal Houses and Castle Combo. I can't remember.
They're Gigamant.
They're Gigament. Okay, yeah.
Castle Combo's behind me. I've been playing that a lot recently. So that is catch-up games. But
okay.
A lot of these, I think, smaller French companies or European companies that are under the Hachette umbrella, they all seem to be very good.
Actually, you've just reminded me of A games as well, which I've gone a little quiet over the last couple of years, but they're the ones that produce fairly complicated, heavy Euros, things like Ave Roma, Prehistory. They've done Impression, which I'm still to play, which looks ridiculously heavy as well. So that's Attila Skarsgård, because he has a habit of producing heavy Euros. So they seem to get my attention as well, but they don't come around very often. So they're Hungarian, if I remember rightly, and they seem to do most of their production in Europe. So whenever they do raise a Kickstarter, it's usually done in 6 months because they do all their production, locally, as it were. So there's a quicker turnaround, so it doesn't all go to China, which is quite nice.
There's another designer that I usually buy and look into that's going to cause a bit of controversy on this podcast. Stefan Feld.
Look at Stefan Feld and then walk swiftly away.
I've enjoyed Stefan Feld games, and I've enjoyed the last few that he's brought out.
I was going to say Czech Games Edition, but there's a bit of a caveat because Czech Games basically do almost two separate lines of games, which is like family/party games, so code names, and then they do the midweight Euro. And it's the midweight Euro, the one that always comes out of Essen. So, SETI, Kutnahora, that kind of thing. I know it's not liking it. Lost Ruins of Arnak, even. I really enjoy that game, and you're both wrong. But as for designers, there's people I keep my eye out. We've mentioned Terzi. I will keep my eye out at Taschini. I mean, this is a bit of an easy one. Adam Poots. He's only done one game. Yeah, Kingdom Death Monster.
Actually, speaking of another Adam, Adam Kopinski. Nemesis and a few others.
I think the longer we spend on this question, the more answers we're going to give to it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we should probably move on.
Well, I think that's all we've got time for, isn't it, folks?
I think it is.
Is that the last question? That is the last question.
Wow. Good.
So if you'd like to ask us another question, Board Game Geek Guild 2726, or, seems to be the preferable one, Discord, or any one of our social media profiles, and we'll copy it in and stick them on the list for the next episode. So Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky.
All bag us at a convention.
You said Blue Sky then, didn't you? I thought you said Loose Guy. I was like,
Blue Sky. Just
is that like
just find a loose guy.
Find a loose guy.
Question, he'll pass it on.
It's a weird dating app we're suddenly on.
Give me a few beers, boys.
I think I need to go to sleep. How did I get to Loose Guy?
Yeah, let's wind this up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. This has been Polyhedron Collider Ramshackle. We'll be back with a proper episode very soon. Until then, happy gaming.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye. Loose Guy. Really confused me.